Hello everybody. Today we will continue discussing Chinese art, and this time we will focus on Chinese paintings. I am Julius, I am from Lithuania, and
I am Zhang Bin. Both Julius and I are teachers of Nanjing University.
There is also a third person, teacher Su Ming, who couldn't come here, but she is the actual expert in the field of Chinese art. We worked as a team, and Dr. Zhang and I am going to present you our teamwork and discussion. Because of time constraints, we could not and cannot tell everything what we could tell about Chinese paintings, so we chose 3 topics that we think are the most interesting. We will present these 3 topics as 3 questions.
Yes, and the first question is,
why Chinese paintings are usually not framed?
The second question is, why Chinese paintings are usually black and white with almost no color?
And the third one is, are Chinese paintings a kind of abstract art?
Dr. Zhang, so here I would like to ask you the first question. I actually never noticed that before. Only recently I became aware of that. So the first question, why Chinese paintings are never framed?
Okay, I will answer this question here. Generally in the West, when someone mentions a painting, first of all, we will imagine an oil painting in a museum. This oil painting, as a rule, will be framed, and when we glance, we'll be able to see the whole view. But in China, it's a completely different story. It does not matter if a painting is painted on a fan or a Chinese album book or on a scroll. You can never immediately see the whole picture because it will only gradually scroll before your eyes.
So among all these types of media where a painting can be drawn, the scroll painting is probably the most important, and we will show you soon why. It's so important that even during the Beijing Olympic Games in 2008, during the opening ceremony, the creators of the opening ceremony used the idea of scroll painting as a media where the show was being performed. And this shows the significance of scroll painting in the hearts of Chinese people. And we thought if someone from the West haven't heard much about Chinese paintings, they could ask a question. So how do you actually appreciate this kind of painting?
Well, to enjoy the scroll painting is like taking the work, and opening a scroll painting is like following its painter, seeing what he sees. We also have a choice of focusing on different details in the painting, and we can unhurriedly enjoy them until the whole picture of the scroll is being presented. This appreciation of scroll painting is like a journey, where we never know in advance what will happen until the journey ends. There is always something that may surprise us in one way or another.
So we chose one of the most famous paintings called Qingming Shanghe Tu.
Yes.
In the painting, there is a scenery of Qing capital during North Song Dynasty period. And by scrolling the painting, we can so feel as if we are inside of it, 1,000 years back, walking in the streets, crossing small bridges, looking into the distance, or just standing in one place, enjoying every detail of the capital's life. We can observe and experience how people lived during those times. It's very vivid, very strong feeling. There is another very interesting aspect related to Chinese paintings, and especially scroll paintings, and that's the aspect which we call multi-perspective. The fact that most of Chinese paintings, they have not one but several perspectives. And Dr. Zhang here has something to
say something about multi-perspective. Just now, by observing the painting, we could easily notice that Chinese paintings are in some ways flat by having only 2 dimensions. Not like these 3-dimension paintings in the West. It also does not have one point perspective, but it has many different points of perspectives as the scroll painting unfolds. We could call it multi-perspective style of painting, where the painter's point of view is never fixed, but always changes. It's quite different from the one-point perspective style of painting that popular after the Renaissance. So, Julius, as a researcher of Chinese philosophy, so can you just give me some explanations about this multiple perspective?
My achievements in Chinese philosophy research are still very modest, but there are still a few things that I think I could say here. So, first of all, we can easily find out that the aesthetic ideas behind the Chinese paintings and Western paintings are quite different. So the Western idea of aesthetics, of what is beautiful, could be seen as fixed, and I'm sorry for some kind of maybe overgeneralizing here, but there is such tendency. So in Western paintings, even moving objects are fixed inside of the paintings, and they stay like that forever. And to realize this idea that is very dominant and popular in the West, we are always looking for something that is constant, eternal, something that is stable. This idea, I think, is realized through using one perspective in the paintings. But for Chinese, it's a completely different story. They seek to find Tao,
Yes.
or the way, and they want to find this Tao in the movement. It's dynamic, and the artists achieve this moving, dynamic expression of Tao by constantly changing the point of perspective in the painting, and that makes the painting more alive. It's also interesting that because of this, in Chinese paintings they very seldom use shades of light. They achieve the result they want without using the shades. So that's what I would say about philosophy. Yes.
So one more point is that Chinese painters emphasize the balance between people and nature, and both the process of drawing and the process of enjoying let us realize that we are part of nature and make a certain unity with it. A good example that illustrates the idea is the Chinese traditional garden, because they are created by humans, but at the same time, these gardens let us feel that we are in nature.
Yes, so, and before we move to our next question, while we were preparing this course, I realized that I myself experienced this idea of scroll painting in China. I think the first time, more than 10 years ago, from one of my colleagues, a young Chinese lady, I got a present. And that present was the painting that she drew.
She drew the painting?
Yes, she herself. It was a nice painting. I think it was I remember it was a painting of flower, and it's a pity I lost the painting later. And the second time was quite recently. To one of my friends, I told about an interesting dream that once I had in China, and he said, I know, I can draw that. I can draw your dream.
Paint your dream?
Yes, he painted my dream, and he did it in a Chinese way, and in less than a week I got my dream painted.
Wow.
And recently I suddenly became aware that in both cases the paintings were the scroll paintings. I don't have the exact painting, but they actually look like this, and
you have one here?
They were almost of this size. I remember we by analyzing, we found that usually Chinese paintings, they are horizontal, the scroll paintings. But there are also some that are vertical, and we thought we can just show how it works. So this is one of the scroll paintings that looks somehow similar to one of my presents that I actually got painted. So we are scrolling and folding. Calligraphy is also an important part.
Actually, the calligraphy here is a poetry, and we have flowers here.
So I guess everybody can get the idea how it feels and how it looks.